Welcome to Princeton Tonight. I'm Jordan Salama, and we have a great show for you today. We have a really cool guest in the studio. He is the Chief Operating Officer and one of the founders of the Relief Group, a company dedicated to supporting African entrepreneurs in their business endeavors. So let's get right to it. In Princeton Tonight, please welcome Emmanuel Udetong.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks for being here. Of course. So you have an amazing company here, and you're only a freshman in college. And you're working with other, entrepreneurs on this, and you're all students, which is fantastic. So let's explain what the company is. What is the Relief Group?
So the Relief Group is essentially a business build tank for Nigerian entrepreneurs. So we go into Nigerian businesses, we partner up with entrepreneurs who have ideas for scalable businesses, and we'll actually build out the important components. So we'll go in and we'll make them websites, we'll make them an Android application, we'll help them write up a business proposal, connect them to people who want to work with them. Whatever there is necessary to scale this business, we will do it for them and take them to market entry so that they can make revenue and create jobs.
Okay, so then you said build tank. What's the difference between consulting and a build tank?
Right, so with consulting, it's advice that can be followed or cannot be followed.
Okay.
So what we're doing, yes, we're still offering advice and recommendations, but we're actually going to go in and make sure that those recommendations are implemented. So instead of just saying, hey, you do this, and then maybe things don't work out for them, maybe they don't have the manpower to get this done, we're actually going to go and provide them with that manpower and make sure that the things get done.
Okay, so you essentially take a part of their company and build it up for them.
Right, exactly. Well, I mean, I guess I would say with them. We make sure that they know what we're doing. That way, when we leave them, they'll be able to keep their processes going and be sustainable.
Right, of course. Okay, so then let's talk about how it started. I mean, it's got to be an early, young project.
Right, yeah. It was actually last year. So last summer, my cousin called me up. His name is Toby. He lives in Houston, Texas. So he was like, Emmanuel, we need to do something for Nigeria. Like, we've always just felt like this passion for Nigeria. It's where our parents are from. We hadn't actually gone there, but it was just that, like, we always wanted to go and make a difference. But we were always like, hey, when we have money, we'll go make a difference. Or when we have more power and we're older, then we'll actually be able to do something. But Toby, he was like, let's do something right now. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, what are you thinking? And at first, Toby was just like, we could probably provide seeds to farmers, like something like charity. And yeah, we'd be helping, but at the same time, it'd just be giving fish to Africa. Now, the world has tried to give fish to Africa. It hasn't worked. It hasn't been able to reduce systematic poverty. So instead of giving them fish, we want to give them fishing rods. We want to help them to build their businesses and let them generate their own revenue so they can be self-sustainable.
Right, so instead of necessarily giving and just leaving it alone, you want to work with them to build it up and both be
Exactly,
successful.
yeah.
So let's talk about the businesses themselves that you work with. Can you just give me a sense of what's the most interesting business idea that you've come across?
Okay, so Jordan, where are you from?
I'm from New York.
Okay. So you know New York traffic, right?
I do.
Okay, so Lagos, Nigeria, I would say is just as dense as New York City, if not more dense.
Okay.
With no metro. And they have just as many cars. So you can imagine the traffic there is just ridiculous. It's brutal. Now, mail delivery systems in Lagos are even worse just because they don't have UPS, they don't have all the stuff that the US has. So oftentimes, if you're already in Lagos and you have a mail package that's also in Lagos, it'll still take 3 to 8 days for that mail package to get to you.
Already in the city?
Yeah, so
wow.
You can just imagine it's extremely bad. So we met with this entrepreneur, his name is Abby. So his idea is to essentially have people on motorcycles, motorbikes, like they're very common in Lagos, pick up the mail. So you can call into the service, someone on a motorbike will pick up your package and then deliver it to your house. So it's essentially like an Uber for mail. That's what we like to call it. So this idea is called Pigeon X. We were really impressed with this idea and we were really excited to work with this guy.
Yeah. That's so interesting. An Uber for mail. So actually, this is an extreme coincidence because I have a business idea for you that I just think would be revolutionary, and I would love your support. It's called an Uber, but for bicycles. So just imagine that you want to go to an event, and so a guy shows up on a tandem bicycle, but the other seat's empty for you to come on. Now, maybe that exists somewhere. It can always be applied somewhere else. Sports teams. Let's say they need to get to an event. They call an Uber for whatever a 17-seat bicycle is called. What do you think? Do you think that would be feasible?
I think that might be a little dangerous. I'm personally am not a fan of bikes, like bicycles or actual motorbikes.
No, bicycles.
So
Pedaling
actual
bicycles.
bicycles, like-
Teams can warm up before their games. Like it could be. I'm telling you, it's $1 million idea, $1 billion. Idea.
I mean, are you going to manufacture these bikes, or is there some?
Yes, we haven't thought that far ahead yet in the business, but
Hey,
it's still in the building stages of. It's going to make a lot of money. Let's just say that. Okay, so let's get back to the business. I'm sorry for distracting you with that.
No
But why are businesses coming to you guys halfway around the world? Let's not just say they're coming to America for funding support. What makes you different than other companies who do something like this?
there aren't many companies who are actually out there providing these implementation services. So yeah, there's a lot of consulting firms, but there aren't many groups that are saying, okay, we're going to actually go into your organization and, help you to build these products out. In addition, investors generally are not willing to invest into Africa. It's very risky. So they're just usually deterred from investing there. So as Nigerian Americans, we're actually taking that leap of faith, and we're saying, okay, we see potential in this idea. We're going to work with it. We're going to live with you, and we're going to die with you.
Okay. So my last question then for you before we finish this off is, if you had advice for entrepreneurs and they're applying to, let's say, either the Relief Group or some other sort of investment firm, what's something that sticks out to you in an application?
We don't want someone who's just trying to make money for themselves, right? We want to partner with someone who has a business idea that can ultimately create jobs for people and generate revenue for a larger community. So that's really what we're looking for. We see the Relief Group serving as a platform for talented students to use their skills to affect real businesses and to create social change.
All right, it sounds like the Relief Group is doing some amazing things. Once you get other people involved, I'm sure it'll get even greater. You'll have to adopt them, I guess, right? Because, everybody's in your family now, right?
No. I mean, it's not a family-run organization.
Okay.
Although it looks like that right now, we really don't want that to be the case. We want whoever joins, we want them to be leaders, and we want them to create their own initiatives.
And this just sounds more and more like my tandem bike for Uber idea. I just think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring it to you once we start developing
For sure,
this. This
for
is
sure.
great. All right, so I can't wait to see what the Relief Group becomes in the next few years. You've obviously done a great job. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
This was fantastic. To learn more about the organization and for career and application information, you can visit their website, reliefgroup.org. My thanks again to Emmanuel Urutang for joining us today, and we'll see you next time on Princeton Tonight.